Okay, we're back. It's Monday, and we're gonna get back to work on Moonwatcher here. As you can see, I already started working on the hair, and I remember it was bald here because it was a Klingon wig. Well, I took care of him back here. I moved it to here. This is a real nice mix of salt and pepper. I hope I have more of this hair. You can see how similar it is to that hair and that hair. It's really, really close. Before I can finish the hair work, of course, I have to paint this. And before I can paint this, I need to fix my problem with the lower lip. Now when the mouth closes, it's fine, but I have this little kind of drop here, so I have to get in here and make this piece longer. The upper lip is fine. How I put the hair on this rubber ball cap that I made on my head cast was I used the barge cement and barge thinner to thin it out, and I put the thin cement in there and thinner in here, and so after I was all done, I was able to clean the brush, and look at that, I still have a brush. So you can actually do that. Of course, I would brush it on here. I should have showed you. I brushed it on here, and I laid the hair down, and then I would press it in with that, and as you can see, it's very, very tough and very strong. So I'm very pleased with how that turned out. We're going to also attach the ears and the tongue, but I have to fix this problem first. So yeah, we'll do. Okay, so here we go again. I'm trying to get the bottom lip to work better. I mean, it was working fine, but there were some things about it I didn't like. It mainly was the tab kind of showing and stuff. You didn't see it in the video. Camera wouldn't see it, but you might see it in person in a personal, up and close sort of cosplay, Comic-Con sort of way, if that happens. So what I'm doing here, what the problem was, is that this let go. There was silicone on there, holding this on there, and it let go. So the lip was not closing up all the way and moving correctly. So the tabs are fine, as you can see. In fact, I redid them and separated them because they work better that way. They don't struggle. But the upper one is just fine. There's really no problems with it. I don't have to mess with that much. So I thought if I drill a bunch of holes through like this, then I can put the silicone on, and it will go through here and act like a rivet. It'll just actually pop on around the other side, and it won't slip or come loose. It will stay better adhered to the underskull. So I'm going to try that now that I've drilled the holes, and magically I missed going through any of the cables, and everything's just fine. So let's get that. So I've got the mouth to close really nice on this now. Everything I did really worked out very well. I got the eyes all glued in nice and tight, so when this is on my head, it fits nice and tight. But I figure, why put it back on the head again? Why not just go ahead and paint this and finish it, and then do a little bit of last tweaking on it. But I'm very pleased. So what I'm going to do next is paint this. I really need to get the paint on, and right now it's got so much powder on it and stuff, it's driving me nuts. So I want to get a base coat of paint on it, and the way I'm going to do it is I'm going to use the leftover mix I had, and I'm going to darken it up a bit more, and I'm going to thin it with Dow Corning. This Dow Corning thinner is really great stuff. Thankfully I have two of them. Oh, that's monomer. Here it is. This is the Dow Corning silicone paint thinner. That's exactly what it's used for, so we'll be using that. So what I've done here is I've mixed 4 grams and 4 grams of A and B gel tin silicone, and it's tinted. And what I'm going to do now is mix this together. Now normally this will give me 15 minutes worth of working time, but with the Dow Corning thinner put in it, thinning it out well enough for it to be painted, it's going to slow that down to about 20 minutes to a half hour, maybe even more. So here I've mixed sort of a ruddy reddish brown black, and it's very thin. You can see now that's silicone, and I'll be able to shoot that through the airbrush. So here it is after airbrushing. It's real shiny right now because it's still very damp, and it's the nature of silicone to be very shiny this way. I'm going to have to mat this down somehow. And that's something I'm not real clear on, but you can see the freckling effect that I have in there. The camera sure shows it off more than it really is, but I'm really happy with it. And so what's going to happen tomorrow, this is where I just did some brush work, and that turned out really well too. You see what happens when I mat it down with my finger like that? It goes duller. So it may be that I have to just go over this whole thing tomorrow and just do this. And then over time, the natural dust and everything in the air will take it down. But you can see it's not coming off on my hand, which, well, a little bit of it is. But it is setting up, so that's good. But this stuff here I painted earlier is not coming off my hand, so it's staying right on there, which is really good news. But it's got to be a little less shiny. But I'm very pleased. All the details stayed there. Nothing is gone. So tomorrow we will start doing the hair work on the face. We're going to put the wig on there and get that matted down on there, and then we're going to start laying on hair with thin down silicone, like so, into there, into various parts, like so, and then the rest of it will be done with the hair punch, and you'll see how that's done tomorrow. I'm very pleased so far. So good. Oh, plus the mouth closes really well. I would show you, except we're very sticky right now, and I wouldn't dare do that. Okay, it's wonderful, beautiful Thursday, and we're really closing fast on this first Moonwatcher head. I say first because there's another one that you can see being built over here somewhere. But we're going to get this finished up, and you can see I got all kinds of hair out here. I've got crepe wool, I got a hackle to impale myself on, lots of hair, more of this hair. I mean, I got enough hair here to do 2 Moonwatchers, maybe even 3. I did a little experiment already, punching in some of the crepe wool just as they did back in the day. You can see it goes right in, it goes right out, just like real hair, which is really cool. I just need to style it a bit after I get it in there. Of course, the head is nicely painted now. You can see it's got nice modeling to it and everything. So also the mouth closes completely, no problems there anymore. So we're ready to finish this. So the first thing I'm going to do is get this wig on to the head here and glue it down with some barge cement, and then start with silicone laying hair over onto the silicone. So there we go. I've got the hair blended down from back here to here. What I did is I pulled a lot of hair out of this, which you can just kind of pull out, and now there's not much coming out. So that's the part that actually stayed glued to the latex cap that I made that originally glued all this hair to. But as you can see now, I brought it to the front and overlaid the edge, so it looks pretty darn good. Of course, there's a lot of styling I have to do yet, and Krylon was the hairspray of choice. But as much as this is looking like him, there's still a lot of hair I need to lay down into here, the widow's peak, and around here, and up on the chin. And then the very edge, they of course did this hair punch deal. And if you look at the actual real pieces, you can see that it was very rough, very crude by today's standards. Now, I've had a number of people say, well, of course, Steve, you're going to have to improve on that. And it's like, no, we're doing this Canon. So I don't want to improve on anything, because when you change something like this and make it with modern techniques, and if I had lace pieces and all that kind of stuff, it wouldn't look right. It wouldn't look like the Moonwatcher we know. And if you watch the film to this day, it looks fantastic, because it was made for camera. And even at 70 millimeter, there's still a lot of loss. And then There's the fact that there was a brilliant director who knew how to shoot this stuff, who knew how to light it, and where to put the camera to sell the lie the best. And boy, could he do it. As you can see, I've got most of the hair work on here. It's a combination of, well, this is all held down with actual silicone, which is kind of shiny. You know, it's a problem with it. But there is a way to dull that down. And what we're going to do is we're going to punch hair now into it. Now, I know what you're all thinking. They weren't that long, the hair. Well, that's because you put the hair on long and then you style it. You take it down and you make it less. It's always better to have more to work with and trim it back than try to do it the other way. But either way, it looks so cool. So now what I'm going to be using is this. And what this is, let's see if I can get close to it enough. And hopefully it'll focus. Focus, focus, focus. That is a needle. If I get over some dark area here, you'll be able to see it better. There we go. Maybe a zoom would work. Oh, not better. There. Now we can see it. You can see that that is. See, I have a needle. They've broken off one side. And what happens is when you push that in, the little hook there grabs the hair, pushes it into the foam rubber, or in this case silicone, and when you pull back out, it leaves the hair in there. And we're going to do that. And we're going to do that all over this and get that hair that they've got in here. And you can see it really clearly here. And that's all punched over to, and there's actually some of the brows too. So we're going to do that next. Now what I have here is a very dangerous instrument called the hackle. Yes, very sharp, pointed, little rusted points on it. And what you do is you run the hair through it like that, and you get this really nice bit of hair. And I've got a mix here of two different types of crepe wool, both with some gray in it, some salt and pepper, and some dark brown. And I'm going to punch that into the face. Just punching some hair. You punch through the hair like that, and when you pull it out, you get the hair growing right out of the head instead of gluing it on. It covers over the glue really well, stuff that you did, like that. So you can feather it out, just make it just ever so slight all the way down. I just love punching hair for that reason, and that's what does it. It's just that little needle head broken off, and it just goes and catches that hair like that, pushes it in, and when you pull back out, it leaves the hair behind. Okay, we're coming down the back stretch here, and using a shave, a hair clipper, you know, the electric kind. I went through and trimmed all this back. I had a lot of hair on there and pulled it out. You can see all the punched hair work that I've done. It's very, very similar to what they had in every way, shape, and form. So now I'm putting in the tongue, and I got a little work to do on the mouth, and the tongue's almost glued down now. And it's pretty much done. I mean, I'm going to pick at it, obviously, but, and of course, I'm going to put the head on tomorrow, and we'll take a look. That'll be Friday, and have a little fun with that. And that's going to be that for this one. And then we move to this one. Here I am, my favorite raccoon look, about to try this on. Now, keep in mind, I don't have the padding in the head yet, or the bite that allows me to close the mouth like that. So the head fits kind of loose and it shifts, but once the padding's in and everything, and I put the bite in, then it'll work all the way it's supposed to. But I figured I would try to get in this head, because I haven't tried to since I put the hair on the back. Here I go, getting the Iron Maiden on my head. don't want it to fit loose. Anyway, there we are. How do I look, huh? And now I'll take it off. Whew! Brings back memories of my gorilla days.